a spell on you. Because you're mine. You better stop the things you do. I'll tell you, I ain't lying. I ain't lying. You know I can't stand it. You running around. I can't stand it. The way you put me down. I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Because you're mine.
Click, click, boom, down the rabbit hole. Here we go, a whole generation living the Truman Show. No control over the few we see, feeding humanity to the machinery.
Not only selling ads, are selling you and me, and slowly hacking our psychology.
Tracking what we wanna see, who we wanna be, preying on our fragile vanity. The symptoms of oppressive algorithms seen as schisms in society. When we're given into hidden rhythms written with the heartbeat of conspiracy. They said to hell with us, they put a spell on us. The greatest trick played on humanity is the true rise of free, our shared reality.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. I put a spell on you.
Spell on you.
'Cause you're I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You better stop the things you do. I'll tell you, I ain't lying. I ain't lying. You know I can't stand it. You running around. I can't stand it. The way you put me down. I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Because you're mine.
Click, click, boom, down the rabbit hole. Here we go, a whole generation living the Truman Show. No control over the few we see, feeding humanity to the machinery.
Not only selling ads, are selling you and me, and slowly hacking our psychology.
Tracking what we wanna see, who we wanna be, preying on our fragile vanity. The symptoms of oppressive algorithms seen as schisms in society. When we're given into hidden rhythms written with the heartbeat of conspiracy. They said to hell with us, they put a spell on us. The greatest trick played on humanity is the true rise of free, our shared reality.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. I put a spell on you.
Feliz Dia de los Muertos.
Happy Yom Kippur in the beginning of the month. Happy celebration.
Yes, welcome to AlMonía,
Souls in Harmony.
We are a queer community focusing on uplifting creativity and spirituality for all.
Yes.
We have some announcements. We got to do our space check, guys. Check your space. Make sure you're in a safe, calm, quiet environment. Dim the lights, burn some incense, turn some candles on. If you guys can see here, Lana is got it going on right now. Silence those phones, those notifications. This hour and a half is for you, and make sure that you set yourself up for success. And while you guys are setting up your space, burning those little incense and everything, Kathleen has some announcements for us.
Yes, thank you. Mom, I saw that little ghost lamp light. That was cute. I wanted to just invite you guys to type into the chat anything that you're celebrating this month. We named a few. Maybe there's something else for you that you'd want to shout out, but just feel free to put anything big or small that you're celebrating. We'd love to hear what has been good for you guys this month. As always, we are recording this gathering. We do not put it out without permission, so worries be gone. It is just for our reference. If you happen to have any tech problems, go ahead and chat AlMonía Tech and Adina it's Reggie's Tech Corner tonight. And Reggie, he's going to take care of it for you the best that he can with any of your tech issues that arise. As always, please reach out to us. We truly want to make this a community for all of us, by all of us. So whether that be, joining our gatherings, sending this gathering out to your friends, or if you even want to be a panelist, we have multiple spots. You can guide a meditation. You can express yourself freely in our spiritual show and tell. You can give an inspired message, or you can grace us with some beautiful music. Whatever you are feeling called to join in on, please reach out to us through our email or through our social media. And with that, we are public. So send this to all of your friends if you feel like it's resonating with you. And if you know people who it might be resonating with them, please just share us. That's how I think this is going to grow, is really truly by word of mouth, and find the people, web out and find the people who it's meant for. So thank you guys again for joining us. And Francis has a beautiful land acknowledgement for us.
Yes, as always, we want to acknowledge the land that we are on, and here in New York City, we are on the land of the Lenape, the original people. And as we embrace that and take that in, Adina is going to lead us in attention and our 3 breaths, or should I say, Reggie!
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. Happy Halloween. I'm Reggie, for those of you who have not met me. Sometimes I go by Adina. Ugh. Ugh, she was lame tonight, so we got rid of her. But she'll be back tomorrow. So tonight, our intention is to welcome metamorphosis despite any resistance you may feel. I drew a card earlier, and the word metamorphosis stood out because in this time of year, there's obviously a lot of change. We're seeing it here in the East Coast with the leaves changing colors and slowly dying and making way for what is going to be some cold weather. And likely a lot of you are experiencing something similar. And this time of year can just kind of whiz by us really quickly. And it's hard to take a moment to acknowledge the change, acknowledge the metamorphosis that we go through each fall, each harvest season. So I wanted tonight's intention and meditation to embrace that we are actively changing each and every day. And sometimes we need to pause and take a moment to take in that change. So thank you for lighting the candle. And we're going to set that candle on our beautiful altar. And while Francis does that, I ask you all to find a comfortable seat. That can be in the chair you're in now, that can be on your bed, that can be on the floor. You may have been sitting all day and you want to stand. That's totally up to you. Whatever you find most comfortable. And we're going to unite together as a group with our 3 breaths. So whenever you find yourself in your comfortable seat, release all that extra air out. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. And if you haven't done so already, close your eyes. Feel your feet touching the ground. Press your toes into the ground. Not too hard. Just enough to feel a little bit. And relax. Again, we're just checking in with the feet here. And we're going to do a full body scan tonight. Just to acknowledge that each and every single part of our being is changing. So I want you to continue to just gently press your feet into the ground and release. Again, press those feet, activate those toes, press the heels into the earth, feel the connection and release. And just feel your body naturally rock back and forth as you activate the body and release. And use this connection with the floor, the ground, to plant the seeds of the change that you want to invite within you. And let's move up to the ankles. You don't have to do anything here. You can think about them, send breath to them, send the active thought to release the ankles. And you can acknowledge to your ankles, speak to them even. I know you're changing. I embrace this change. Move up to the leg, the lower half of the leg. Send breath to the leg. Give thanks for the change that your body very expertly guides you through without you even knowing it. We take so much of ourselves through the day without really acknowledging what it has to do just to help us show up. So let's acknowledge our quads. acknowledge the changes that it experiences every minute of the day. Move up to the knees. Some of us may have felt our knees change and continue to feel our knees change on any given day. I know I do. Send breath to the knees. I embrace the metamorphosis. Up to the thighs. Send breath to the thighs. Now the hips. A very important platform for our lower half. Continue to send breath and acknowledgement of change. An acknowledgement of love to our hips. Move up the spine. You may even feel yourself get a little taller as you acknowledge, even in this meditation, from my lower spine, lower back, to the mid back, to my upper back. It's changing. And I embrace this change. Feel your shoulders relax away from your ears. Move down to your arms, elbows, wrists, and fingers. I acknowledge the change. I embrace the change. Move up to the neck, an area often ignored. Another bridge between the platform that is our shoulders and our crown. Send breath to your neck. I acknowledge the change. I embrace the change. Move up to the crown, to our head. And send breath, love, kindness to wherever you feel like you tense up in the face and head, whether it's the cheeks, your forehead, even your lips. This is probably an area where I know when it comes to media, we notice the change a lot. There's a lot of focus, especially when it comes to anyone who is marketed toward women. We acknowledge the change in our face. We usually hide it or mask it with makeup. And tonight, that's fine. It's fun. It's Halloween. But we don't often just embrace the natural change that our face goes through. And just let that be. Let that happen. So take this last minute of our meditation here to feel every part of your body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head.
Acknowledge the changes, continual shifts that we experience and feel on any given minute of every given day that we have on Earth. And send love, breath, energy, support, whatever it is you feel you need in this moment. And I will bring us back. Start to return to your breath. Return to the surface underneath you, that being your seat, the ground. Start to move the fingertips, toes. Start to make little circles with your body if you want to slowly start to wake up and come back. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Let's all take one final breath together. Inhale. Hold. Release. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through a body check-in tonight. And I hope you found that valuable enough to return to throughout November and December, these crucial months where, as hectic and busy as things can be, taking the time to check in with every part of your being. That took 10 minutes, so it can be quick. And on that, I am honored, nay, overjoyed to introduce the wonderfully talented Sasha for our free expression tonight. Sasha, take it away.
Thank you so much, Reggie. That was exactly what I needed. A good body check-in. A good moment of listening. Listening to our bodies and listening in general as just a really important thing, especially at this time, where I like to consider this a thinning veil, and just a time that I usually end up writing a lot, and I will be sharing some of that writing with you tonight. Things that have come to me from listening. Specifically, a lot of things that I end up writing become poems, but they don't start that way. It's just usually when I am wanting to chat with those who came before me, which is sometimes family, sometimes friends. And this one came to me, and it's because I'd like to share it specifically. There's an exciting thing that I do want to share. We were talking about celebrating things tonight, and I recently reconnected or connected with a family member from another side of the family that I didn't even know I had until I was a teenager. And so now I get to learn more about the Tunson side. And this is called Laternenlaufen, which in German means walking with lanterns. And you will see children do this on St. Martin's Day. They walk in a parade with lanterns lit. My name is not in the Bible. You dial my number, you call me Bug. Guess I killed 3 of my kin in the kitchen. I never heard the 2 syllables on television until Beyonce revealed her alter ego. My name made her feel powerful. My name made her feel brave. Daddy wanted my first name to be Mahalia, but you thought it would make things harder for me. My hardness became the center of a locket that opened and closed on a last name that never was meant for my blood. A hand-me-down, chosen because Hawkins was warmer than Tunson, and my daddy never wanted me to feel the cold. Must be a descendant of St. Martin. I am a lantern, brightly I hold. Now, this one that I'd like to share is part of a series of 4 poems that I've been thinking about these 4 poems for what feels like years, because each one is about a mountain. And these are the 4 sacred mountains in the Navajo culture. They're located in different states because of the moving of borders, the moving of lines and lands that people claim. And at one time, these 4 mountains were like a safe and sacred boundary. And today they still are, just acknowledged in different ways. And I read a lot about these mountains over time. I went to see them multiple times in my visits to Colorado. The one that I'm most familiar with, and I would say intimate with, is Mount Blanca, which is out in the valley in Alamosa. And it's a mountain that has meant a lot to my family for decades, and now learning more about this other side of my family is also important to them too. So I just think it's like I said, a time of listening to those who came before us and being willing to receive the messages from those we feel are worth our trust. And this one is called North. It's like pulling taffy back and forth, ribbon candy rainbows, and I see them, black as north, monster slayer every night. I am holy, I am light, one by one by one by one. I carry some until I'm done. And this one is south. Like someone laughing, falling south, born for water, blue inside the body, thirsty red inside the mouth, San Juan River running down, from above then below. I sip and then I chug, a drip and then a flow. I learn and then I know. This one is east, and this one is about Mount Blanca. Corn never cries out until it's wrapped in blankets and birthed into the east of a new day. Dawn upon a true way of living with gentleness. They caress every hair on the husk. positive portals of shell and dust, lightning that cannot resist an attempt at connecting the dots, and some thoughts are grains of sand, and others might magnify all that you've got. And this one is west. Oh, I'll wait just a moment. I'm always grateful when I hear a siren, and I am safe and cozy at home. Just want to say, so glad to be here with y'all. A guiding open wind of the west pulls my arms away and out. I hear the calling God in the strength within my stretch marks. Sunbeams addressing all the shine in me, my abalone armor, her little silver cup, 3 small chicks staying out until dusk. So I just encourage you all in this time to, again, keep a little ear open for whatever may be trying to connect for your growth. And I hope that you find some nuggets in there to feed your soul and stay warm. With that, I would like to pass this on to Tad with the thin veil.
Thank you for that, Sasha. Words are such an interesting thing, right? We create these vibrations, these words, and we send them out. And it's not until they're met by another that they have any meaning at all. And it's in poetry that we get a special kind of word that can pierce a thin veil within us and almost skip our mind and go straight to our heart. So thank you for the poetry you just shared. It really is a soul communicating with another soul, and we appreciate those words that you've shared. So let's take a moment. This is a day that we mark in various ways. Halloween, Samhain, any number of other festivities, acknowledgements. Throughout time, it's changed in how we refer to it. But what so many cultures have realized about this moment as it comes around cyclically once a year is the idea of change. As Regina told us earlier, metamorphosis, change, a coming to a point of transition. We've found ways in different times and cultures to create rituals to acknowledge this moment, this thinness, this point of change. The thing about rituals is they can become ossified, they can turn into stone, and then they lose their meaning, they lose their life. What I think is important is to acknowledge the traditions that have come before us, so we have a connection to what's come before, but reinterpret them through the life that we're living now, in the world and the place, with all of the experiences and all of the people who surround us now. So we can acknowledge the past, but also honor the present. And with that as the idea behind this, I decided that I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that have been rituals on this day for some people, some places, some ways. And perhaps we can interpret them a little different, or perhaps we'll choose to think about them the same way. So I didn't organize this too much because right now the world feels very chaotic. So I don't want to give something neatly tied up in a bow because that's not this moment. The moment in the world right now is a lot of chaos, a lot of disorganization, a lot of unknowing. And so I'm just going to go with individual ideas, offer a little something that you can take or leave, and interpret it in your own way. So the first thing with Samhain or with Halloween is the idea of a new year. Many times, especially some of the Celtic cultures, this was the new year. This was the moment. And the idea was the world had given all that it could. The harvest had given all that it could. And now it's a time for rest and silence in the winter months, a stillness where calm magic could work itself until it was ready to birth anew. So if we think about that, it's a time we could interpret it as an idea of gratitude for all that's brought us to this point, for all that we've been able to manifest, and that now we can sit in calm and allow the magic to work in the background and know that all of the things that we've experienced to this point are going to manifest soon in a way we may not even understand. So that was the first point, the idea of Halloween or Samhain as being a new year. Something we often think about around this holiday, around this time of celebration, is the idea of fire. Fire is one of the elements, obviously, but many people associate it with destruction. I certainly did. That fire consumes, that it destroys, that it ends, that it takes away. But as many of us, I'm sure here, are sensitive to, fire's true power is in its ability to transform, again, with the intention of metamorphosis. The heat can literally create an alchemical process to take two elements, bind them together into something new, or dissolve them into two entities of their own and give them both their freedom. That is one of the beauties of fire. Also, that fire, as it's consuming, creates smoke. Smoke is a messenger. It's a beautiful messenger that can take and carry those elements out and spread them long and far to create even more change later on. Something to think about with fire. The next one, in no particular order, is spiders. So sorry if anybody here is terrified of spiders. As many of you knew, Bruce and I are working on a new place, and down in the crawl space, there are dozens of the largest spiders I've ever seen. So totally appropriate for this day. However, I wanted to not think about the spider itself. Now, this is a bit of a mixed metaphor, so just go with me here. I want to talk about spider shit. Not literal shit, but that silk that comes out its butt. Why do I want to talk about silk? Because if we take the metaphor, all of us have shit, and there's a couple things you can do with it. You can dodge it. You can get out of the way when it's coming at you, if you're lucky. You can get caught up in it, which just creates a terrible mess. Or you can take that shit and you can organize it into something beautiful. So think about the spider web, right? Something that's just being thrown away, cast away, transformed out of that spider's body could become something absolutely beautiful. So, little thing to think about. The next is darkness. So what I want to say about darkness, a lot of people are afraid of darkness, but here's the interesting thing about it. Even in darkness, there is light ever present. And it's not until an object, let's say a person, enters that darkness that the light is already there, is able to reveal itself. If you were to go out into space, outside of our planet, just out into space, the sun's light has been traveling through that darkness. All you see is darkness, but the second you put a spaceship there, boom, lit up. Now we become aware of the light that is in that darkness. But without that person, without that object, we would never even know that it was there. So something to think about. Don't let the darkness scare you. Know that the light is always there. And it just takes our presence for it to be revealed. Next thing is the thin veil. Many cultures have called this the time of the thin veil. It's a time when those that have come before us are close. It's a time for us to acknowledge what was there before us. It's also a time to be aware of the gift that we have right now. The only difference between us and those that have passed is we're able to act in the present. We can still feel their presence, but we who are alive in this moment, we have the beautiful power to act. There's something that is interesting that I've been thinking about of late, about the bad stuff we do and the good stuff we do. Everybody does things that are less useful to their transformation and their best self, and there are things they do that are better. We make mistakes, we make reactionary choices, we intend harm or malice. The reasons could be myriad: to make ourselves feel better, to escape or avoid consequence. There are a million ways that we can do something that might not be in our best interest. But there are also a myriad of ways that we do beautiful things. And that usually stems from love. Now, here's the thing. If everything that we did that was bad echoed forever, that would be horrible, right? The beautiful thing about the mistakes in our journey is that eventually they're forgotten. If you think back to the people that have come before us, the times before on the other side of the veil, we don't know the bad things that people did, the mistakes they made, the choices that were not the best. But what continues to grow after they've passed on is the love. So love, whenever it births something of beauty or connection, it continues and continues and continues. It continues to affect others that then translate that into more love and more growth and more. It just keeps going on and on and on. So the hope is the bad choices eventually fade. They do become no more. But the good things that we birth in this lifetime will continue to grow and blossom forever. So I think in knowing that those vibrations that we put out are going to continue to manifest through all of time, the good things, and that eventually the bad will be forgotten, offers a layer of hope. And I think that's what the most important thing, at least for me in this time, in our new rituals, that is the meaning of the thin veil. All right, I've got a couple others here, just in no particular order. One of the traditions of the past was the dumb supper. Now, what is the dumb supper? Dumb supper is creating a meal from one of the people that have passed on and setting it a place for them at a meal where you don't speak. And at the end of the meal, you take and you give that meal back to the earth. You either burn it or you plant it, you do whatever you want, giving it back to the earth. So where we can find some meaning in that ritual is if you think about the people who have made food for another, that is an act of giving, that is an act of love. So when you recreate that meal, you are literally invoking the love of that person. You are literally recreating it, taking those elements and forming them into a vibration, the vibration of a chocolate chip cookie, if you may. That's amazing that you can conjure it like that. And now that love has been birthed anew. So just wanted to talk about one of those rituals I think we need to bring back, because it is a way to honor the love of those that have given. Food is such a tangible thing. Our body is made of matter, right? So it might just be a chocolate chip cookie, but it's literally the substance of who we are and being able to give that. So that's one of those traditions I think we should bring back. Next is the idea of terror and fear, right? This holiday, regardless of how you name it, is always associated with terror and fear. But terror and fear, what it does is it skips over your brain and goes straight to your emotions. There's something really great about that because it allows you to identify emotions. One of the things we're really bad about here in the West is identifying emotion. But if you can name something, you can transform it. If you can identify it, you can literally encapsulate it. You can put it in a box. You can get rid of it. You can choose to do whatever you want with it once you are aware of it. So terror serves a good purpose in that way. And the other thing is, you can also look at the other half of that, which is the idea of taking a pause and thinking. So if terror is straight to the emotion, the opposite of that is going to be thinking, stopping, looking, and listening. By stopping, just stopping when you start to feel all aflutter, it gives you a moment to choose. And as we talked about earlier, the idea of now, this is the moment. This is the only moment when we can act. But rather than react, to just jump into an instinct, to jump into an emotional response, to have the ability to choose. What it takes is the ability to stop, to pause, to look, because looking, you start to see your own participation in whatever that situation or that circumstance is. You can listen for the guidance of the vibrations of the generations that have come before you, or the vibrations of the people that surround you now, to get guidance on how you might choose to act. All right, almost done. Last thing I want to talk about before I leave you with two quotes is the idea of ugly things, of masks, right? We think of around this time, long ago, they would create, this is actually a really cool tradition that, they used to carve the ugly faces into pumpkins like we do as jack-o'-lanterns now. They used to do it with turnips. Some say they even did it with severed heads of their enemies. So, it's got a long tradition in various places. But the idea was creating an image. Now we do it with jack-o'-lanterns. And one of the cool things about this is when you put a candle inside of that, it's going to glow through that image that you've created. And you're literally taking and organizing light, and its vibration is going out into the universe over time. So rather than it being a single moment, you are strengthening whatever that signal is that you create in that pumpkin. You're giving it the entire length of that candle. You're putting that beautiful image out over and over and over. And what is an image? It's organization. Organization versus chaos. Organization versus chaos. It is literally the beauty of our mind being able to take all this random stuff and put it together, for good or for bad, hopefully for good, but you're able to send it out over time. So that's one of the cool things in those, but I'm a little off topic now. So I'm gonna go back to the idea of ugly things. So when we remove a mask, when we take off this, whatever we've placed as hideous on top of ourselves. Now this can be our perception of ourselves, or it can be a little literal mask, but when we see our own defects, when we see the things that we're not happy with, when we take them off, what we find is underneath, the strength is already there. The beauty is already there. The thing is, we are here now and we have everything in this moment. Something they don't teach us in the West very, very often. It's all already here. You've already been given everything that you need, but you have to take off the blinders. You have to be able to change your perception to see that it's already there. You have to be open to looking past that mask. It's there. The beauty is there. And so with that, I'm going to close it up with two quotes. This one is from a poet by the name of Galway Kinnell. Sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness until it flowers again from within. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is, this is an American proverb. It doesn't have an attribution, but I think that its teaching is self-evident. Before sunlight can shine through a window, the blinds must be raised. And on that, we give appreciation for the thin veil tonight, all that have come before us, all that surround us now, and all that will become later. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to pass it over to our dear friends, Kat and Francis.
I got chills, I'm multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying is electrifying.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man, and my heart is set on you. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart I must be true.
Nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want. You, honey, the one that I want. You, honey, the one that I want. The one I need. Oh yes, indeed.
If you're filled with affection, you're too shy to convey. Meditate in my direction. Feel the way.
Woo! I better shape up, 'cause you need a man.
I need a man who can keep me satisfied.
I better shape up if I'm gonna prove.
You better prove if my faith is justified.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure down deep inside.
You're the one that I want.
You are the one I want.
Woo, hoo, hoo, honey, the one that I want. You, hoo, hoo, honey, the one that I want. You, hoo, hoo, the one I need. Oh yes, indeed. You, hoo, hoo, honey, the one that I want.
You are the ones I want.
Hoo, 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 honey, the one that I want. You, hoo, hoo, the
my gosh. Wait, I want to see all of you. Anyway, thank you guys for a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful gathering. It was just so awesome, and I feel so grateful to be surrounded by all of these amazing people with all of your amazing messages. Adina, Reggie, Regelina. Thank you so much for that amazing meditation. The body scan was just what I needed in this time of metamorphosis. So thank you for that.
Of course.
Yes. And Sasha, thank you for your poetry. I think Tad said it the best when he was thanking you. I mean, it is a soul to soul connection, so we appreciate that very much. And thank you for sharing your talent and your vulnerability and your soul with us. Thank you.
Yes, yes. And Tad, always epic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing all of those amazing and beautiful rituals that us humans throughout time have resonated with. I love that idea of cooking the meal of a loved one and then giving that back to the earth, back to them, back to that original source of love. I kept thinking, for me, when I make cream of wheat, it instantly takes me to my grandmother's table. She made the best cream of wheat. There's just something about the smell. Second comes in with mom. She would always make that, and I feel like that's one of the things that such a simple meal. There's an instant version of it, but either way, it's just that sense, that amazing sense that just takes me right to the ancestry.
Yes. And the definition of fire, I mean, fire always has such negativity attached to it, and it is such a beautiful thing. It's mesmerizing, and it does transform everything around it. So thank you for sharing all of these beautiful things with us on this beautiful type of holiday that we have to embrace. And a lot of us, I mean, I grew up in a very strict Latin household where this was like not happening. We would shut off the lights. We would put a Bible verse on our door. Like, it was just not. And throughout the years, actually being with Kathleen, who really enjoys Halloween and embraces it, I've really enjoyed learning about the rituals and about the past that comes with celebrating this day, and that it is a celebration if you choose it to be.
Yeah, it's a nice reminder that to bring up the fact that it's like rooted in this like energy of the new year, the honoring of the ancestors, because I mean, we see it now. It's all about the costumes and the candy and the spooky scary, and it is just wonderful to be reminded that it is rooted in our history and that there is a deeper value and meaning to whatever you choose to celebrate during this time. But at any holiday, I think it's nice to be reminded of those roots. Could just really go on, but we'll just cut ourselves off, and we would like to invite Sasha back up to the stage. They are going to let you know how you can support us, and yeah.
Keep this ritual
Yes,
going.
keep this ritual going. Good, that's good. Okay.
There you go. Thank you so much, everyone. What an amazing, amazing night. And I'm really grateful to have been here and been able to receive these messages from each of you, and also for all the good laughs and just the joy, because it is definitely a celebration of life. And with that comes a lot of gratitude, and that includes gratitude for all of you for your time, for being here tonight, and also for the ways that you've been supporting us and have supported us financially. It's been really important to us to try to keep things as low cost and accessible as possible. But it is a time of change, and I know that as a community, we are all going through some changes with some new things ahead of us, and would love to see what we can grow together. That includes with AlMonía and upgrading our tech gear so that we can continue to do this in a way that is efficient and still lets us be present and grounded with you all, and not focused on things that don't matter. So I'm just going to drop our link tree here in the chat. If and when you feel interested, enthusiastic even about supporting us, whether that's sharing just this link with other people who have that sort of availability at this time. And again, also reach out to us if you ever have something that you want to share with the community, even if it is not close to a gathering time, just on a whim, you think of something you'd like to share with us, just let us know, reach out. We have email, find us on our socials. We love hearing from you all, and I think that sums it all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. Wow, you always put that so eloquently. So thank you for that. Yeah, so that's gonna wrap us up for tonight. Our next gathering is, the last Monday of November, which falls on November 28th. So please keep that in your calendar and join us again. We are going to just take a short 5-minute bathroom break, get some water, get yourself comfortable, but we will come back for a little hangout. We'd love to talk to you guys, connect, further the conversation, get some feedback, and just be in community with you all. So thank you again. Did you have anything else to add, or?
Thank you. Just thank you for being here, for continuing to share your Mondays with us, for allowing us to have this safe space. Thank you to each and every one of you guys, to all of our panelists, and we look forward to our next AlMonía with you guys. Please share. If you have anybody that you think could be part of our panel or in any way, just please share. That is the way that this community is going to grow. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. If you are in early places and you're going to go trick-or-treating and stuff, please be safe. And we love you guys. And thank you so much.
Take it away, Reggie.
Hello.